You wish upon a star, my children. May lightning strike down and bring life. Last year we talked about taking the classic traditional Disney characters and putting them into the vampire tale of Dracula. Now let's see how they fare with Frankenstein. Well, to be accurate, this is the tale of Duckenstein. Captain Gus Walton, having the dream of exploring the North Pole, as well as grow pistachios and ice, takes his ship through the icy north when they discover the half-frozen Victor von Duckenstein. Victor decides to relay his tale to Captain Walton of his parents who loved to explore, but them deciding he needed a more stable childhood, so he's sent to the home of his uncle, Scrooge von Duck. His son fell in love with a girl named Daisy Beth, having to compete for her affections with cousin Gladstone Clerval. What helped Victor was his imagination and creativity, exploring nature through his art. However, his uncle Scrooge was less than supportive because it would not make him any money. Trust me, kid, you can have a very profitable life with making art, especially if the art you make is of monsters. Or porn. Porn is really profitable. He studies ancient texts, like those of Duxcelsus, who claimed that he could animate the inanimate, and decided to experiment with some art, some colorful mixtures, and a lightning bolt. He had some help with his experiments from Wilm, Wolf, and Waldo, the three youngest members of the family, whom took to calling Duckenstein uncle as well. Unfortunately, his experiments almost causes the house to burn down, so Scrooge elects to send him to Ingolstadt, and without his sketchbooks, to attend university and hopefully build some character. Once there, he meets Professors Van Ulduk and Gyremp, who teach him about modern science. Within 2 years, his scientific knowledge surpasses even their own. But Gyremp does have a one-up on him with a new invention he made: cardboard! And a caption helpfully informs us that cardboard boxes were first sold in 1817. I've always known that horror stories were educational. The concept of cardboard enamored Duckenstein, realizing that he could renew his dream of animating the inanimate through a creature made of this substance. Personally, I think discarded body parts would work better, but I'm not a scientist. Finding the discarded scrap materials and flawed materials of cardboard, he brought them back to his laboratory and constructed a creature made from them, galvanizing material to him to create humanoid features. He gave him lead boots, since he would otherwise be very lightweight, what with the cardboard and all. And thus, with a strike of lightning, animation occurs. The creature soon came to life, unable to make any noise but growling. The creature accidentally fell out a window, but when Duckenstein tried to locate its body, it was already gone. Soon, Gladstone shows up to inform Victor that he and Daisy Beth are now engaged, to Duckenstein's unhappiness. He figures the monster must have disintegrated in the rain, being cardboard and all, but the story, of course, is not over yet. Duckenstein shifts the perspective, telling Walton of how the creature told him all this from his own point of view, of first seeing himself in the mirror, and thinking he looked quite handsome. And I've got to agree. After he fell out of the window, he actually grabbed hold of the kite that attracted the lightning. While he was heavier thanks to the lead boots, he was still light enough to be carried away by it and away from the storm, taking with him Victor's notes about his creation. Everywhere he went, people and animals fled, though he did not understand why. He was so attractive after all. Eventually, he came across a nearsighted farmer, an impoverished French aristocrat who decided to take up farming. Unsuccessfully though, since he figured he could grow wheat by planting baguettes in the ground. Yeah, the living cardboard is a lot more plausible. The man studied books, and by observing him, the monster learned to read and speak as well. He did odd jobs around the farm without the man knowing about it, simply figuring that he was just forgetful. He tried to speak with the farmer, but the nearsighted man chased him off because he was trespassing. Now that he could, he studied Duckenstein's journal, learning that he had supposedly made his greatest creations back in his original sketchbooks, figuring that might mean others like himself himself, the monster made his way to Uncle Scrooge's house. From there, the narrative shifts back to the good doctor. It seems Daisy Beth only agreed to the proposal to try to spur Victor into action, possibly to finally declare his love for her. But it's not working. He's just a depressed mess. Wilm Wolf and Waldo try to get the original sketchbooks out to inspire Victor again, but end up running into the monster. The monster seemingly kidnaps the three, and Victor, realizing that the monster is alive, goes out to the woods to try to find them. The monster meets him and explains his desire for more of his kind, but Victor says his heart just isn't in it. The monster leaves, and Victor explains everything to Daisy Beth and Uncle Scrooge, both of whom believe him, but in Scrooge's case he just sees this as proof that Victor's artistic imagination causes nothing but trouble, deciding to form a mob to find the monster and burn it to death. However, it seems the monster is actually working with the three ducklings, all of whom see this as a big opportunity to get Victor back into action and break off the engagement with Gladstone. Unfortunately, the mob soon finds the monster and chases it off. Victor elected to pursue it wherever it went, over mountains and glaciers, until finally arriving here. However, Victor also laments how if they had just waited for the kids to climb down from a tree and explain the situation, this could have all been avoided. Still, ending the flashback, the monster arrives on Woolton's boat and explains that he is tired of running and wants Duckenstein to end his cursed existence. But Duckenstein has no intention of doing that. For you see, the kids love animated creatures, and this incident spurred Duckenstein back to action, creating more animated creatures with the help of Gyremp, and making a place where they could live in harmony, the wonderful land of Calisota. And so the monster goes back with Duckenstein, and the moral of the story is, never stop looking at the world through the eyes of a child. A lesson that I certainly encourage my children, especially if that means that in at least one retelling of the story of Frankenstein, the monster has a happy ending.